Amir Khan here for Seconds Out with Blair the Flair Cobbs. Blair, good to see you. How was your Christmas?
My Christmas is amazing. I had a wonderful Christmas and just spending time with the family.
Spend time with family indeed. What does the family get a boxer for Christmas? Is it new boxing gloves? What is it?
It's a new ass whooping. Like no, just well, the kids got Santa Claus to come down the chimney and give them some nice presents and things like that. And I keep up the tradition, and they had got some nice toys, things like that.
Season to give, and indeed, like you mentioned, you got a few ass whoopings to give in 2025. Before we get to that, though, 2024, how do you look back on the year?
Um, it was a success. It was a success. Um, I wish I had like more fights and things like that to keep going, to keep the ball rolling and things like that. But it was still a success. I was able to do a whole lot. Um, Keeping my name out there, doing call outs and things like that. And one of the biggest hits was like that fight between me and Broner. And it was a success on a level. I was able to go to a lot of these conventions and show my face and make sure we getting ranked and make sure that my presence is known in the boxing world.
I appreciate that, and I agree with you that it was a successful year for you. But I would have thought the win off a beating Broner might have landed you another big fight before the close of 2024. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I did too, but the whole thing is this: boxing is just it's not what it used to be.
Hmm.
People don't want to be great anymore. Promoters are scared, like extremely scared of being great and letting their fighters fight other guys. So it's a whole lot of things that's happening. Whereas though I'm in the middle of it because I'm trying to make things happen and trying to keep the idea that you can come from nothing to something still alive in boxing and in boxing culture. So it's a very hard situation that we're dealing with. Whereas though like we have people that don't want to let boxing be great, and then we have me. We have people that wants to see boxing successful and grow to be something special the way it was before, like you and like so many others that interview me. And then we have the others that's kind of killing the sport off.
Let's get to 2025 and, in your own words, set the table for me. Who's at the top of your priority list? Who do you want? Who's on that Blair Cobbs hit list?
Oh well, top of the list is Boots and Ryan Garcia. Boots and Ryan Garcia is the main hits on the hit list. I win, I beat those guys. I completely demolish those guys. I'm the face of boxing. End of story. You know what I mean? And also just knocking off everybody else down the line. CONOR BENN would be a great fight to go down there to UK and stir up trouble and also get more fans involved and build up this empire of fanship. I'm a very interesting fighter because I can captivate a very wide audience. And so that's what I want to do. I want to be exactly what I've become, the people's champion, you know, and keep that tradition alive of like whoever is the most exciting man in boxing is the greatest man in boxing at that time. And like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to accomplish. I dare to be great. So like that's how it is.
Breaking down some of these names, and I saw you on social media. You put down a post regarding Boots. You said his destruction is coming soon. The most exciting man in boxing. Fear me. You seems like you're really gunning for Boots.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It makes me gun even harder because I can see their fear. I can see the fear in Boots' eyes every time I see him. I can see he doesn't want to talk to me at all. Like you know, I'm like, hey, buddy. No. So it's one of those things. Um, you can't be the best until you're like the best, at least where you come from. No, I'm born in Philadelphia. I was born from Philadelphia, and I had a lot of boxing experience in Philadelphia. A lot of my amateur experience, a lot of my beginning off pros experience. That's why I have such a long layoff in the pros. So I wanted to go back home and conquer my house, and then I'll go out and conquer the world. You know, I already became the people's champion after beating Broner. Let's be the Philadelphia's champion. And then after that, let's get the world champion.
Mentioned there Ryan Garcia. Ryan, of course, coming off the back of it was ended to be a no contest with Devin Haney, but a big spotlight moment for him last year. Going into this year,
Hmm.
how confident are you that you're the one to land the fight with him?
I'm very confident because and the reason why is because there's not very many people that like if he wants the same kind of like show
Hmm.
where though there's all of that stuff that was going on. Ryan can't really just fight anybody, you know? He's moving up in weight to 147 and he's getting closer and closer. He couldn't make the weight at 140. Um and there's really not that much going on right now. So the best strategy, the best fight that he could possibly have is honestly me. I mean, yeah, he can have a bunch of like guys that's nobodies and fight nobodies, but I don't think Ryan Garcia is that guy anymore. He's a star. He's a star trying to fight other stars. So why not fight a star in Blair Flair? I think that'd be a great fight. I think that'd be the fight that everybody would want to see.
I read that Eddie Hearn suggested that he would make a fight with you and Karen Chikadjian, and then that, if you got the victory as you plan to get, would land you a major fight. Are you willing to go that route with Eddie?
Absolutely. But he sometimes it's just talk. He's not actually like trying to make it happen. I was like, okay, cool. Like, can I get that on paper? I'll make that happen. You know, like there was no real negotiation. That was just hearsay and talking. I would have loved to smack up Karen and go ahead and finally smack up Boots or whoever else he might throw in front of me. Yeah, you know what I mean, it will always be a pleasure to fight with somebody like Eddie Hearn as a promoter. Like that's great. You know, and I love to bring Don King on board and all that stuff and make boxing great again. But well, we got to see what's going on with that. Hopefully he'll contact me. You know, I'm not very hard to get to contact at all. Like, so we'll see what happens.
You can hear, obviously, that from my voice. I'm from the UK, as we mentioned before the interview started. So the interest with you and fighting some UK fighters would be something that, of course, myself and others in the UK would be very interested in. And no more name link with yourself in the UK than CONOR BENN, who now has an avenue to return to the ring. But I don't hear CONOR BENN particularly calling out your name, Blair.
Nobody wants to call my name out. I'm not the guy to call out, because the thing is, right? I I'll take it. Yeah. Oh, you want to fight? Oh, perfect. Let's go. And that scares people because I'm very unpredictable. I'm very, very unpredictable. My style and in the ring is very unpredictable. People go in there thinking that they're going to beat me,
Hmm.
and things is going to be very easy and sweet. And then they get knocked out in the first round, in the second round. Things change real fast the moment we're in the ring. Things change real fast from the moment we see each other face to face and we're actually have to fight each other. Yeah, I mean things change. So it'd be very interesting, I mean, for like the top guys to make that decision to take that chance. It's a very really, really risky chance on doing that. So that's why that is. Yeah, I mean, I wish nothing but the best for everybody, but I do belong in a specific place, so that's why I'm gunning for the top names.
What's your read on CONOR BENN as a competitor from the fights you watched of him?
I think he's doing great. I think he's developing, he's growing. I think he's a good fight for Blair Flair. He's a good fight for anybody. Very strong.
He seems to be looking and having his sights set on either Mario Barrios or Chris Eubank Jr. Do you think he beats either of those?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Absolutely. Mario Barrios. Yeah, yeah. I feel like, but those are like easy fights for him. I feel like those are easy fights. Chris Eubank, I feel like is an easy fight, and Mario Barrios is, I feel like, is an easy fight for all of us. Like, if I fought him, Mario Barrios gets knocked out in the third round. Um, if Conor Benn fights him, Mario Barrios gets knocked out in like the sixth round, and like I don't see how anybody can not beat Mario Barrios, the elite young gunners like myself and Boots and Conor Benn and all of these other guys. It'll be very interesting. But one thing I do know for sure is that out of all the champions at 147, Mario Barrios is a true champion. So I do respect him in that aspect. I mean, he did fight for the world title. Like a lot of these other guys, they didn't fight for it. They just got to hand it to him.
Mhm. Blair, can I ask you just your thoughts on a recent fight between Usyk and Fury, the rematch? What was your takeaway from that fight and how did you score it?
I thought that fight was a lot closer than what it was. But one thing I definitely gotta say is like, Usyk did his thing. And like I'm just gonna give his roses why he's still here because a lot of people don't give his roses. And me personally, I wanted Tyson Fury to win
Mm.
because I want the trilogy, man. Like, come on, but like, I'm in it for the drama. Okay, I'm in it for the drama. So but it didn't go that way. So hopefully we can see something else. But it seems like Usyk is the number one guy. He's the number one guy, and I would think that like right now he probably could retire. I mean, I feel like he's done everything in boxing at this point.
When you say you had it a lot closer, like how close did you have it?
So I thought that maybe Usyk might have edged it out by like 2 rounds at best, or maybe 1 round, not like what the judges had it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it was way closer. I like just barely, because honestly, I felt like a lot of rounds was kind of like toss ups,
Hmm.
and it could have went either way. And look, Tyson Fury is an amazing fighter. He's an amazing fighter, and nobody comes back like Tyson Fury. So I was expecting a lot better, and I wanted to see something else. I wanted to see Tyson Fury win that fight. Me personally,
The AI judge had it 118-112. Would you welcome an AI judge in your future fights?
I don't know because that was incredibly crazy. Like the regular judges was crazy, but the AI judge, who is paying this AI judge? Who made this? I don't know. I don't know. It'd be very interesting, like if AI became like a part of the judging. It's just I don't know. Boxing is it's a very interesting sport. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know how things work because it's very different. Everything about boxing is very interesting, and I don't know if AI can even really fix the problems with boxing.
Oh, I hear that. So going into 2025, you've got the rivals and the targets that you're going for, but how many fights would you want this year going off the back of the one fight that you had this year?
Um, Man, I would like to have 3 fights. At least 3 fights or 2 really big fights. Big ones. Like if I came in guns blazing, like in March or April, and then killed it again in like what in October or November, it'd be amazing. Anything like that would be great. But honestly, I'm just hoping that things go good and we just have fights. Keep something going on.
Blair, I'll leave the
If
final
I
word
can
with.
if I could pull 4 fights, that'd be great. Cause that's what I did in 2019, and I was hot shit in 2019. I fought all the best fights. I fought like 2 or 3 undefeated fighters, you know, and I captivated a lot of people. That was when I first really started moving. I fought Caribbean, then I fought this other guy, and it just kept going. And they were all pretty much undefeated. Villalobos, Ortiz, this other guy named Robert Redmond. Then they were all pretty much undefeated. If they weren't undefeated, they had like one like loss, and it was an off loss. Like Ortiz, I was looking him up and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this motherfucker's undefeated too. Like, the only person that he lost to was twice his size. He wasn't even fighting in his weight class, you know? Or like Robert Redmond, I checked him out. Oh, I'm like, oh man, he just got the shit stick because he was black. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? He got robbed. They're like, oh, okay. So this is another undefeated fighter. You know what I mean? And so I don't mind like getting that type of movement. If they can make that happen, if Don can make that happen, I would definitely love to have that.
I'll leave the final word with you, which has been a fun interview speaking with you, Blair, for the first time. What's the message you want to send to your rivals?
Oh, my rivals. That an ass whooping is coming very, very soon. There is no option left but fighting Blair or Flair. So let's make this fight happen. You know, your demise is coming to a very, very close closing. So let's make this fight happen, Boots. Let's make this fight happen, Ben. Let's make this fight happen, Barrios. Let's make this fight happen. And I cannot wait because Blair Flair, the most exciting man in boxing, is coming very, very soon and very, very hard to a theater near you. Let's get it.
a promo Ric Flair would have been proud of.
Absolutely. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Blair the Flair. And for more exciting content, official BlairTheFlair.com. Woo! Because nobody better, baby.
Blair, pleasure. Thanks for speaking Seconds Out, sir. We'll catch up very soon.
Thank you. I had a question. Are you related to Amir Khan?
I wish. You know what?
You guys have the same last name.
No. You know what? Boxing was basically like Amir Khan for me growing up, and then when I went to uni, it kind of opened up with George Groves and Carl Froch when they had that rivalry, and then I got into boxing like a lot more after that. But I used to just watch only Amir Khan basically. But it's like Khan is like the equivalent of like Smith maybe in the US, like just a really common last name.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's awesome, man. I met Amir Khan.
Yeah.
I met Amir Khan when I was in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and it was such a wonderful experience because I've always looked up to him back in the day. I thought he was an amazing fighter, you know. So
Did he give you any advice?
Just a little here and there, and just gotta keep up and stay active. The thing is, it's very like my era of boxing is very interesting compared to the era of yesteryear.
Sure.
And like, it'll be very interesting like how things are working out in this era because we have so many things going on. It's kind of ridiculous right now.
No, I hear that.
Yeah, like back in there, they didn't have to worry about ticket sales and somebody else that's not even part of boxing starting to become the face of boxing. They didn't have a Jake Paul era or like a era where there's some kid that's making like all the money but never won not one world title and things like that. It's things are not quite the way it was before. People are not caring about being great anymore. You know what I mean? At least back then there was a little bit more caring. You know what I mean? Now, but like shit, the years before that, big caring. Caring. It was more important than the actual money. The only person that was chasing money was Floyd. And then before that, it was all about the passion. And we had a whole lot more love for the sport. But things is starting to die off a little bit, so I don't know what's the next move, but hopefully It's going to be very interesting. Hopefully, the next move is Blair Flair. Yeah,
Blair, very well said. Good to speak to you, and we'll catch up soon. Looking forward to any developments you have in 2025.
absolutely. Thank you.